All right, welcome on. We're going to start off in Detroit, where the Pistons faced off against OKC, a potential NBA Finals preview, kind of, sort of. OKC held out all of their starters, so we didn't get a lot to really go off of. But it was a competitive game, as the Thunder bench always brings it. Pistons end up taking it 124 to 116. Cade Cunningham led the way with 29 points, 13 assists. He did have 8 turnovers, so once again, the defensive pressure of an elite team was a factor, but he exerted his own will defensively as well with 3 steals and 3 blocks. He is one of the best, if not the best, two-way point guard in the NBA. Jalen Duren had 29 points, 15 rebounds, once again exerting his own will on the offensive glass. OKC, they dropped to 45 and 15. Pistons moved to 43 and 14, by the way. So Thunder do drop below Detroit in the standings, which would determine home court in a potential finals matchup. Chet, Hartenstein, Alex Caruso all sitting this one out, joining Shea and Jalen Williams on the sidelines. So it was left to the center, big man Jalen Williams, to lead the way. He had a career high 30 points, also hit a career high 5 threes, was 5 of 10 in this game. Cason Wallace, he has been on fire over the last couple weeks since Shea went out. 23 points, 5 assists, showing he can handle a little more responsibility in the starting lineup. Jared McCain had 20 points in 30 minutes off the bench. As Isaiah Joe, he actually left this game at halftime with a bruised hip. He only played 14 minutes, so one more for the injury pile for the shorthanded OKC. Aaron Wiggins, he also added 20, so OKC has no shortage of players who can step in when guys are hurt. Whether or not we see those teams in the finals is going to depend on how healthy OKC gets for the stretch run, because, of course, they're going to have to get by the San Antonio Spurs, who dispatched the Toronto Raptors on a back-to-back. 110 to 107. They are now on a 10-game winning streak, hottest team in the NBA. Victor Wembanyama, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 of 12 from the field, so he had an off shooting night, but still you felt him all over the game, protected the rim at a high level. De'Aaron Fox, 20 points, but he was 2 for 8 from the free throw line in this game. Very uncharacteristic for him. Spurs overall were 4 of 10 on free throws down the stretch to kind of keep Toronto in the game. But fortunately, the shooting of Devin Vassell is what gave them that lead to begin with. 21 points, 5 of 6 from 3. He was 7 of 11 from 3 in the last game, so he is red hot right now. Spurs right now only 2 games behind OKC, so it looks like that is going to come down to the end of the season, the seeding for either team. Going over to Toronto, they dropped to 34 and 25. Brandon Ingram had 20 points and 11 rebounds, but he missed the potential game-tying 3 off the side of the backboard. Emmanuel Quickly had 20 points. Jakob Poeltl, he came back after missing a game. He's been kind of in and out of the lineup. He came off the bench again in this one. Was actually effective, though. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, 28 minutes, and actually was able to take on Wemby a little bit with his strength. So nice to see Poeltl back out there playing, regardless of whether he's starting or coming off the bench. Raptors are still 5th in the East, fail to gain any ground on Cleveland. We'll touch on them in just a second. Golden State, they got a 133 to 112 win over the Memphis Grizzlies. The game had the feeling of a silly season vibe to it, but as both teams are extremely banged up. But Golden State, they obviously still have something to play for. Draymond Green, DeAnthony Melton joining all the other guys on the sideline. So Brandon Pajemski, he actually entered the starting lineup. He's earned a start with his play in the last 2 games. Also, Pat Spencer has not been great either during that stretch. So they started Pajemski over Spencer. And Pajemski responded with 19, 8, and 6 in this one. Will Richard, he got the start at the 2 for Melton. He had 21 points, 6 assists, 3 steals. It's been a little quiet since bursting onto the scene earlier in the year. 8 Warriors were in double figures in this one. Basically everyone who was available. Milevis Leon was the 9th man. He had 9 points in this one, so almost everybody in double figures. As obviously the Memphis Grizzlies, given their state, were not playing a lot of defense in this one. They dropped to 21 and 36. Gigi Jackson, He led the way with 24 points. Javon Small, he got his first career start. Now the only player that hasn't recorded a start on Memphis is actually Ryan Repair on a 10-day contract. So we'll see if he actually gets into the mix at all. But 16 points, 4 assists, 6 of 8 from the field for Small, 28 minutes. Ty Jerome actually started next to him, essentially at the 2. 22 points, 24 minutes. Let's go on over to the Houston Rockets. They moved to 35 and 21, dispatching the worst in the NBA Sacramento Kings, despite the absence of one Amen Thompson in this one. 128 to 97, nice little 31-point blowout. Reed Shepard got the start, and he blitzed them for 28 points, 7 of 16 from 3. Alperen Şengün dominated his opposition in Maxime Reynaud, 26 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. Nice little triple-double to get him going. KD, 21 points. Nothing really of note for the Rockets. Heading over to the Kings. The winning streak is over at 1. They dropped to 13 and 46. Russell Westbrook led the way with 22. DeMar DeRozan had 15, passed Paul Pierce for 20th on the all-time scoring list. But unfortunately, Keegan Murray, he only played 9 minutes. He landed awkwardly on his ankle, same one he missed 20 games over. So he probably is going to have to miss a little more time. We'll see whether or not this knocks him out for the rest of the year or if he's able to come back during the year. If he does have to miss some time, Nick Clifford would be in line for a lot of minutes. He ended up actually hitting the bench once Keegan Murray made his return. So 15 points in 29 minutes for him. So we'll see whether or not he gets a lot of minutes down the stretch or not. Killian Hayes, I've been tracking the chronicles of his 10-day contract return to the NBA. Had 3 points on 1 of 9 from the field in this 1 in 20 minutes. He's now 1 of 13 through 2 games since signing his 10-day contract. So not looking great for him. Milwaukee, they got a win over the short-handed Cavs, 26 and 31 they are now on the season, still fighting for that last play-in spot, 118 to 116. Kevin Porter Jr., 20 points, 5 steals in this one. Kyle Kuzma actually shot the ball well for once, 5 of 10 from 3 for 17 points. Cleveland, James Harden, he was actually out for this one, fractured the tip of his right thumb on his non-shooting hand. He should be back soon. We'll eventually play through it. Mitchell and Mobley were also out in this game. Cavs essentially treating it as a rest game for all their guys. So Dennis Schroeder, Sam Merrill, Jalen Tyson all entered the starting lineup. Schroeder had 26 points, 5 assists. Merrill had 14. Jalen Tyson had 14 as well, also adding 10 rebounds. And then Keon Ellis got some additional tick with all those guards sidelined. He played 29 minutes. Also adding 14 points as well. Jarrett Allen, he led the way, of course, with 27 points and 11 rebounds. He's been awesome over the last month. Heading over to Denver, where we're going to finish off things, they dispatched the Celtics 103 to 84. Now 37 and 22 on the season. I believe that gives them percentage points over the Houston Rockets for either the 3rd or 4th seed, but don't quote me on that. Jokic, 30, 12, and 6 to lead the way. He was essentially the point guard in this game as Jamal Murray only played 8 minutes. He was under the weather, left, and didn't return. So Bruce Brown replaced him in the lineup. He's more of a wing than like an actual like point guard. So Jokic was basically bringing the ball up in this game, running a lot of the actions. Nuggets only shot 42% in this game. They actually won this one with their defense, holding Boston to 35%. Jaylen Brown had 23 points in this one, but was 7 of 21 from the field. Worth noting that Christian Brown has been playing a little better of late since returning from his injury, so he might have had a big impact on Jaylen Brown's effectiveness. Also, they had Bruce Brown out there, who is a quality defensive player as well, so they were able to limit Jaylen Brown some. Derek White had 20 points and 3 blocks, but Peyton Pritchard was not able to give them a third source of scoring. 3 points on 1 of 6 from the field. He was 2 for 13 in their previous game. He had been hot coming in, but 3 for 19 over his last 2 games. Woof. Nikola Vucevic was not much better. 2 points, 1 of 7 from the field. Allegedly, Jokic is a bad defender, right? But he had 23 minutes off the bench to get his 2 points. Has an 83 overall rating in the 2K Sports roster, by the way. I've been kind of clowning them on that over the last week or so. And then just a little bit of roster news. Not a lot of rating updates or anything that needed to be done in this one, but I did knock the grand total of players I need to edit. The number of standard contract players now down to 55. Again, a lot of these guys are third strings. Like, for example, I did all of the Golden State Warriors with the exception of Seth Curry, who's only played 2 games this year. He's been hurt the entire year, and he's still hurt right now, so not a huge priority to get his rating done. But I did knock out the rest of Golden State, so you can check that out. Obviously, when I say I updated their ratings, I also update their badges. A lot of them were pretty, surprisingly, like Brandon Pajemski, his ratings and badges were like completely off. You would think that because 2K is like their Warrior stands, and they actually usually run to like overrate players like they did with like Will Richard earlier in the year. Pajemski's ratings were like god awful. It looks like they hadn't even touched him since last year. So again, a lot of what they do sometimes with players is they just like overinflate their shot IQ and offensive consistency, obviously intangibles, to get their rating, their overall rating up, but then they leave the rest in the gutter. So I was a little surprised when I finally went through Pajemski that he hadn't really been updated in the last 2 years. That was kind of weird to see. Gary Payton II is another player who needs a massive overhaul, just stylistically with the way he plays. He's very extreme, like doesn't take through. He's basically a 6'2" power forward, so he needs a lot of updating in order for him to play appropriately. Pat Spencer, Al Horford, other players that I added to the official or my official rating pile. So again, I 55 players. There's 7 weeks left. As long as I get on a pace of now 8 players per week or something like that, I should be able to knock that out. So thanks guys for watching. A little bit of a short one today. Only 6 games. Let me see what's on the schedule for tonight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on Thursday night. Okay, awesome. Any interesting matchups? We've got Lakers versus Suns. That's a 6 and 7 seed. Suns, of course, are very short-handed right now, so not quite the marquee matchup that it could be. It doesn't look Rockets and Magic, I guess. Otherwise, lots of tanking teams. We've got the Pelicans going up against the Utah Jazz. That one should be fun. Timberwolves and Clippers. Heat and Sixers is technically like the 6 and 7 seed in the Eastern Conference. All right, yeah. Keep an eye out for that one. I'm going to keep working on the roster. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.